Have you heard of the 4 Actions framework? It's a business tool that's applicable to nearly every industry. The success stories are countless for organizations looking to establish new value offerings and markets. But how does this strategy work? What are its benefits? And what are the steps to building one? Let's take a look at everything about 4 Actions framework. 5. What is a 4 Actions framework? The 4 Actions framework is an approach from the Blue Ocean Strategy framework that helps to upend an industry strategic logic. The framework was developed by Professors Malborn and Kim of INSEAD Business School. It asserts that developing a new market can be more advantageous than taking on well-established competitors in an already existing market. In other words, the 4 Actions framework encourages making changes to your products so they can enter their own market with low prices and no competition. Thus, the secret to implementing a successful 4 Actions framework strategy lies in identifying pain points only your organization can address. 4. How do 4 Actions frameworks work? The 4 Actions framework works by identifying the value and cost drivers within an organization's offerings and aims to cut or eliminate incongruent and unnecessary products. This strategy allows the organization to concentrate on developing differentiated products that have the potential to conquer new customer markets. The 4 actions the framework takes into account in refining an existing product include raise, eliminate, reduce, and create. Let's get a better understanding by looking at a 4 Actions framework example. The development of Yellowtail, a wine brand from Casella Wines, clearly illustrated the rewards the 4 Actions framework could bring. 3 years after launching in the market, Yellowtail rose to become the fastest-growing wine brand in America's history. How did Yellowtail attain this level of success so fast? It understood that the majority of wine brands operate in an environment where competition for market share is aggressive. They appreciated that by eliminating or reducing the elements that the wine industry competed on, they could tap into a new group of customers. Yellowtail dropped the traditional emphasis on prominent vineyards and aging. Additionally, they did away with the complex terminology usually featured on wine bottles, which might be intimidating for potential customers. In its place, Yellowtail developed a drink that was palatable enough to appeal to the general public and thus increase demand from spirit and beer consumers, and not just wine connoisseurs. And they made it easy to purchase by only launching 2 varieties, one white and one red. As they say, the rest is history. Number 3. What are 4 Actions frameworks used for? The 4 Actions framework is mostly used to create a product sales and marketing strategy. It refashions the buyer's values by concentrating on 4 distinct actions: reduce, eliminate, raise, and create. Ultimately, it cuts the overall cost of the product and sales and marketing efforts while increasing buyer value. Professors Kim and Malborn argued that this way demand is created instead of fought over. So the 4 Actions framework is an excellent strategy to employ when you feel your product is stuck and you're looking for new ways to innovate. Most importantly, the framework can also come in handy when developing a product roadmap. A product roadmap is usually a high-level visual rundown showing how your product offerings can develop over time. Number 2. Benefits of 4 Actions framework. Helps avoid saturated markets. For businesses all over the world, competing for markets is a normal thing. However, if you adopt the 4 Actions framework, your product will be unique while addressing customers' pain points at affordable prices. You will have no competition, even from well-established names in your industry. It introduces growth potential. Adopting the 4 Actions framework translates to balancing product innovation with cost and utility while still creating value for your customers. You will meet customers on their level. The 4 Actions Framework places equal weight on value and affordability. You will always introduce your product innovations at price points your customers can accommodate. This strategy minimizes your target customers' barriers to buy what you sell. The 4 Actions Framework template is most useful when you help create value innovation and break the value-cost trade-off. W. Chan Kim and Renee Malborn use the terms red and blue oceans to describe the market universe. They say that red oceans are all the industries in existence today, the known market space. In the red oceans, industry boundaries are defined and accepted, and the competitive rules of the game are known. As the market space gets crowded, prospects for profits and growth are reduced. Blue oceans, in contrast, denote all the industries not in existence today, the unknown market space, untainted by competition. In blue oceans, demand is created rather than fought over. So the Blue Ocean 4 Actions Framework template is a great tool to consider when you feel like your company or your product is stuck in the red ocean and you're looking for ways to innovate. The Blue Ocean 4 Actions Framework can help you assess whether you are spending money in the correct ways around your product to maximize user gain and minimize user pain. Identify the pains that really matter for your product and the gains that really matter with this template. This way, you're getting the most value with the least cost within the total product market. Number 1. 4 steps to building a 4 Actions Framework. The 4 Actions Framework is visualized in a template containing 4 columns or sections. In every section, you're supposed to ask the appropriate questions about the product in question. Let's use Yellowtail's framework as our core example, as well as a few other examples for easy reference. Raise. This step entails figuring out which aspect must be raised in terms of product and pricing standards. Can any existing product features be improved to provide additional consumer value? In short, which features can set new industry trends or standards? Here's an example to help you get started. In the food frying sector, managing used oil. What's the need to raise this? Most manufacturers don't consider this. After frying your favorite dishes, what happens to the used oil is up to you. Eliminate. This step highlights areas of an industry or organization that could be wholly eliminated to cut costs and open up new markets. Think of the attributes that demand a lot of effort and investment, but don't result in significant revenue, new customers. These can also be attributes that were important in the past but are no longer useful. Here are some examples for better understanding. In the automobile sector, gas mileage. How far can a gallon take you? Why should this be eliminated? Gas is not environmentally friendly. Instead of designing engines that can generate higher output, why not develop something else? In the transport sector, what's the number of owned vehicles? What's the reason for eliminating this? The expense associated with vehicle ownership is one reason why this should be eliminated. Why not take advantage of the existing inventory of automobiles instead of purchasing and owning more? Reduce. Are there attributes that can be reduced if their cost and value do not justify the means? Maybe some factors reduce competitive edge or erode profits. What are those elements that are still important but are often too complex for the market to grasp? These are 2 examples to help you get started. In the cosmetic industry, the need for physical stores. Why should this be reduced? In this era where everyone is obsessed with the internet and online shopping, why invest so much of your budget on rent? In the wine industry, vineyard prestige and wine complexity. Why should this be reduced? In today's world, does the typical wine lover care about the different tasting notes, chateaus, and vineyards the grapes are grown in? When creating a 4 Actions Framework, this step promotes you to think of elements that should be reduced that the industry never provided. The step requires a thorough understanding of the customer's desires and interests, as well as the direction the industry is taking. The goal is to figure out the challenges customers may face in the future that have not been identified. Here's an example to guide you. In the prescription eyeglasses sector, eyeglass fittings. Why should this be created? Usually, trying on eyeglasses entails visiting a shop and trying them on. However, with the changing buyer behavior and demographics, convenience matters more than ever. Are virtual fittings possible? How about pop-up events for quick and easy fittings? What else could be created to fill this need? What are your thoughts about this framework? Thanks for watching.